God bless America, we're back.
Yeah, and this is one I watched like 10 years ago on late night cable with my dad and I was a late teenager, young adult maybe, and I felt it was appropriate for this podcast, especially during the spooky season.
It is, but also this is one of the more obscure things we have because we do not have a lot of information on this film. It was directed and co-written by American-Iranian Kevin Hamadi. I really hope I'm saying his name right. The horror comedy Hamadani. Okay, that's how you say it. The horror comedy film is completely unrelated to the comic book series of the same name. The only real notable thing about the movie's production is that it was apparently the debut film for Sydney Sweeney. She plays Lisa in the film and would go on to star on The Handmaid's Tale, Sharp Objects, and Euphoria. I still have not seen a single thing Sydney Sweeney has been in. But
and on a lesser note, she was in Madam Web, which she regrets to this day.
I mean, doesn't everybody? But okay, so I didn't know anything about this. This was again one of
my recommendations.
Yeah, and I was very surprised because it has like also a message, like a political message, and I actually thought it did it pretty decently. So I think this place is fictional, or is Port Gamble a real place?
Port Gamble is a real place. It's like a small peninsula town in Washington.
Okay, so it starts off with this blind dude who thinks he thinks he's found a whale carcass, but it's actually someone who's been bitten by, I guess, a zombie, and they attack him. But the whole time I was like, stop poking the zombie with your like walking stick. You keep poking it, and then of course the thing attacks him. I mean, again, he's blind. I have to cut him some slack. But then we're sort of like given a scene of like good old fashioned America. But as we get to the end, we see this couple fighting in the car, and the lady in the couple takes out a flask and drinks from it. And and then we're introduced to Frida Abbas, who is an Iranian American girl. She dropped
out of Princeton University, and at a gas station she runs into her neighbor Joe Miller, his wife Judy, and their teenage son Brian. And Joe Miller, you can tell he's a stone cold racist.
He sucks. And his wife is no better because...
Yeah, it comes off awkward saying, "Oh, you must feel awful about what's happening in Iraq."
She's like, "I'm not from Iraq. I'm from here." Also, guys, Iraq and Iran are two different places. I know they have a similar spelling. They're two different places. Also, I think their son has like a crush on her. I think they might have gone to school together.
Yeah, and he's very awkward about it.
Super awkward about it.
And her dad, Ali, runs a popular diner there, where Frida's boyfriend Derek arrives significantly late and he fires him.
Which is understandable. As someone who had to work like in the food industry, if people were late or didn't show up, it just ruined everything. So, yeah. And then, do we get...
Oh, yeah, we get to the gay couple, Tom Hunt and Lance Murphy, where they arrive from New York to tell Tom's mom that he's gay so he can finally be out of the closet, especially with how his dad died. So he never told him.
Also, we were introduced to Tom's old teacher, Mrs. Banks. She's apparently running for mayor. Keep that in mind. So I'm trying to remember, does Frida see her dad praying first and then we go back to the gay couple?
Let's see. I believe so. Yeah.
So, Frida, of course, is a young woman, and her dad is like, "Oh my gosh, why are you dressed like that?" He's like, "You're not going out of the house like that." I will say, like, I do like the relationship between Ali and Frida. It feels very realistic because it's a situation where I can kind of understand where both of them are coming from, because Ali is like, you don't like to embrace where you're from. And, and then she's just like, "Oh my gosh, you're so old fashioned." Like, again, I think both of these characters are really well written. And see, okay, so this is another thing where I think there was a commentary just on how dumb Americans can be, because Tom and Lance are having dinner with Tom's mom, and she mentioned she got bit at the store. So here's the thing: usually if something bites you, or if anybody bites you, you need to go to the hospital right away. Especially like if it's a person, because you could get tetanus. I think it is.
Well, for reasons we'll get into in a bit, it's clear this town doesn't believe in modern medicine.
No, they don't. Because Tom is struggling, but with Lance's encouragement, he says, "I'm gay." What does he say? "I suck dick, mom," or something like that.
And we hear a plate drop. At first it sounds like she's shot, but it turns out, nope, she's a zombie, and she almost attacks Lance. And let's see, yeah, and Lance holds up a fire poker, try arm herself, but she keeps on walking to the point where it just skewers her. And
yeah, it's funny because it takes him just a second to realize that something's wrong with her. Because at first they think she's just normally sick, but nope.
or that she's homophobic and attacking them.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, Frida, and turns out Frida is dating Derek, and as they sneak out in the car, Derek, I can only describe as having a microtransgression. Oh my god.
Oh my god, it was so bad.
It's so cringy.
What did he? I forgot what he said, but then Frida responds as, "No, there's no way you're getting into these panties tonight." And I was like, "Good on you, girl." Because what he said was really gross and disgusting, but also
And speaking of gross and disgusting.
Okay, wait, no, we forgot to mention the song. Derek is in a band, and he wrote a song for Frida. And it's so bad. Because he just keeps saying like her name over and over again, and it's just I guess he thought it was going to be romantic, but it wasn't. But okay, so like I said, I sent a message to Jad because we talk on Discord. That's how we keep in touch, but also how we record our podcast. And I sent him a message saying, "Jad, it's so bloody," because the first kill scene is a zombie. So they have the windows rolled down because they're smoking. They're doing the devil's lettuce, so to speak, and a zombie comes in and starts biting Derek's neck, and it's just spewing everywhere. It's like a gusher.
And if that wasn't sick enough, the zombie just peels his face right off.
And then starts eating it in front of him. And like Derek, I think, was still somewhat alive as the zombie was peeling his face off. And then another zombie is trying to get into the car. The car has a sunroof, and thankfully Frida was able to get out. And then
and this is where we get to Sydney Sweeney's debut role. She plays the final girl named Lisa, who's terrified.
This is so friggin' dark. Because Frida's gonna take her to her house, but somehow
and they lead by the hand and they run, and suddenly a car just freaking hits Lisa.
That felt a little unnecessary to me. I don't think we needed that.
Yeah, it was definitely for the dark humor, and not to mention it was badly edited. Like she just goes flying.
Yeah. So we go back also to Tom and Lance. Now they have found out that that Port Gamble is experiencing a bioterrorism attack, which turns people into zombies. There's no proof about the bioterrorism thing, but they are right about people turning into zombies. Tom is kind of hoping he can maybe bring his mom back, and it's not working. There's a really gross scene where her eyeball falls out. He throws it to her, and she eats it. But then, they look up and realize she's gone. You remember she was pinned to the wall with the fire poker. Tom is trying to find her. Unfortunately, she finds Lance first, but thankfully Tom saves Lance. They manage to get out of the house, but they then also realize, oh my god, almost everybody in Port Gamble has been infected. Meanwhile, Allie, Frida's dad, left the house to find his daughter, and he just
And
starts.
he is a badass.
He is. He starts slaughtering these zombies left and right. And so we mentioned how he fired Derek. It's very obvious Allie doesn't like Derek.
Mm-hmm.
So we see, a faceless Derek walking towards Allie, and he's like, "Come here, come here." And you
Yeah.
can tell it was so cathartic for Ollie to kill Derek.
Imagine, yeah. Just imagine if Ali was the lead in Taken, he would
Oh my
be
god.
going guns ablazing.
Because he's trying to find his daughter. I think they don't say it, but I think his wife and Frida's mom unfortunately passed away because she's not in this. So it's obvious that he's still, even though he's like gets frustrated with Frida, that's his his little girl. That's all he's got left. So did you guys remember the people we spoke about beforehand? So Judy, Brian, and Joe. So Judy gets bitten by a zombie. And then on the news, they're claiming it's a terrorist attack. Of course, they don't have any news. Now, I'm not exactly sure what kind of necklace Frida has. I'm guessing it's part of Iranian culture, but see, she's wearing one, and it was from her mother, but the terrorist, quote unquote, in the movie is also wearing one. So Joe assumes she's one of them.
Yeah, she's a terrorist. And then, and despite... Sorry, go ahead.
So, he starts asking her questions about U.S. history. Now, here's the thing. It is very obvious that Brian is the one with the brain cell in the family, because he keeps being like, "Dad, Mom is bitten. We have to do something." And there was this fun line where Brian says to his father, like, "Dad, you're Canadian." Like, his dad keeps acting like he's so patriotic. He's not even originally from America. He was from Canada. So remember how we talked about Mrs. Banks? Well, Tom and Lance find her. Now they run into the church with a character we haven't mentioned yet, Reverend Haggis and Mara Burton. Now, at the beginning, Reverend Haggis was talking about how people aren't going to church as much anymore, and it's also sort of like obvious that he and Mara Burton have some sort of like, I think, like sort of like a parasitic relationship in a way, because it seems like the mayor is using Reverend Haggis.
Oh yeah, not to get the religious vote.
Yeah.
And
go ahead.
Sorry.
No, you go ahead.
And we see, so Tom and Lance, they met and find Mrs. Banks, and they hide in the church. At first, no one believes him until one of the guys run out and just see him get disemboweled by this woman he's trying to hit on.
I'm not sure why he did that.
Yeah, and now Mrs. Banks insists they have to fortify the church, but the Reverend just insists they have to fortify their souls, insisting that it's proof it's Armageddon and the rapture and all that.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic we're watching this now, because apparently the rapture was supposed to happen last week.
Did I ever tell you the story about what happened back in 2012 when people insisted the rapture was going to happen?
No.
So there's this one on radio station I was listening to on the way home. They were playing Thriller at the alleged time the rapture was supposed to happen.
Really?
And when time finally passed, and when the song ended and it was clear there's no rapture, they played "I Will Survive" instead.
That's awesome.
I know.
That is hilarious. So I mentioned how, Brian and his family has the one brain cell. Miss Banks is the MVP, because she's like, "Okay, everybody, we gotta count our food, we gotta board up the windows." And now here's the thing: she also notices that Mayor Burton has been bitten. He's starting to show signs of infections. So, in order to now, I don't know what Burton thought was gonna happen, because there's not a cure right now. in the movie. He says in order to like throw the to throw everybody off. This is like I liked this scene because this happens in real life too. He exposes that Tom and Lance are gay, and then instead of trying to survive, Haggis and the other church members try to convert Tom and Lance. They have this like torture device,
With
in which
IV drip, yeah.
yeah, they hook them up to an IV drip and make them watch gay erotica, quote unquote. And they lock themselves in the room. Miss Banks is trying to get in, and surprise, surprise, Burton is a zombie. He attacks this elderly lady who was in the church.
And he just bites her jaw right off.
It's a very brutal scene. Thankfully, Tom manages to grab the gun from this dude who looks like Santa Claus, who has a bunch of guns, and he says, "Let Miss Banks in, and get Lance Lance out of the thing." So they manage, Miss Banks, Tom and Lance manage to escape. These idiots, again, Miss Banks said, "Hey, Mayor Burton is infected." So guess who comes downstairs into the room? Zombie Mayor Banks.
Mayor Burton.
Oh yeah,
and
sorry.
Mrs. Banks is teacher, and the Reverend thinks he can save Burton by converting him, but Burton just rips his arm right off and beats him to death with it. Oh my,
he for a second you thought it worked, but it didn't. In the meantime, Joe is making this poor Frida sing. Say, can you see?
Yeah, and how many and all this questions, but when it's clear that she has nothing to do with it, Joe's not satisfied. He insists on torturing him, while Brian keeps insisting saying it's not going to work, but he's clearly terrified of sending it up to his dad, intervening.
But Brian does stand up to him, and he gets he gets a hammer and smashes it in his dad's head.
No, you're forgetting the part where Frida's foot gets nailed down.
Oh yes, that's right. Oh gosh.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Poor Frida. But Brian helps her and gets the nail out of her foot, but unfortunately his mom attacks him and eats him. Poor Brian. You will be missed. R.I.P. So this scene actually really did upset me. I actually thought it was done really well. What is the name of the actresses? Jeanette Armand and Ali. Oh, I think this is the director's dad.
Oh wow.
Yeah, he has the exact same last name, but she comes back to her house.
To the house, yeah.
And her dad's there, but unfortunately he attacks her and she realizes he's a zombie and she has to kill him. Oh my gosh, I cannot imagine the anguish she must have felt. Again, the actress in this did such a good job. She is about to end her own life, but then she hears the helicopters.
Yeah, so as he goes to make her way to the helicopters, find out the zombie horde, Joe's still alive and tries to handcuff her.
Dude, audience, we saw his son put a hammer in his head. I don't know how he was still alive. He would have died from blood loss, wouldn't he? Wouldn't have that?
Yeah, I think, or at least his brain being exposed to now cracked open, exposed to oxygen, and apparently, then if your brain's exposed and gets hit by too much air, it can cause mental problems and make you lose your ability to mentally function.
Yeah, but he's acting like he's fine.
Yeah, and during the struggle, he tries to handcuff her. He's still dude, it's a freaking zombie apocalypse. Get your priorities straight.
Yeah, this guy's an idiot, but Frida is smart and resourceful, and she manages to handcuff him. And he starts begging her, and I'm like, dude, what makes you think she's going to help your ass after what you did to her? She did say, I forgive you, but she doesn't uncuff him, which totally deserved. I had no sympathy for Joe. because it's not just the fact that he's a disgusting racist. It's also the fact that his son would still be alive had he listened to his son and done
Mm,
something about his wife being infected. But he just was so focused on
his
being
Islamophobia.
yeah. So his son and his wife are dead because of him. Um. So yeah, I didn't care that Joe became zombie food. It was deserved.
So as Tom Lance and Mrs. Banks make their way through the zombie crowd, at first Mrs. Banks is hesitant about using a weapon. That is until she sees a male zombified corpse walking, and she just goes nuts and open fires
That was
on him.
cathartic for her. That was so
Hmm.
you could tell. Okay, there's another really funny joke. I think Frida thinks Tom is a zombie because he's covered in blood, but he goes, "Stop! I'm gay." Oh, don't shoot! I'm gay, and I'm like, I'm gonna start using that as I'm gonna use it in like my daily lexicon. It's like, don't shoot, I'm gay. But like, one of the things I really do like about this is that the humor does not take away from like the horror, and
The
that
gore,
sometimes,
yeah.
yeah, it does such a good job. So thankfully, our last four characters managed to survive. A soldier comes and takes them to a safer place, and this is about 6 months later.
Let's see, 6 months later, yeah. And the whole 29 weeks later, then yeah, I see what you did there, movie.
um, so there was a
Miss,
quarantine. Oh, go ahead.
yeah, yeah, like you said, there was a quarantine, and as the town repopulates, they have like a memorial festival to celebrate. And Mrs. Pink is now the mayor of the town, and Frida runs her father's diner now. While Tom and
There's a
Lance,
picture of him at the front, like at the cash
Mhm.
register, which I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet."
Yeah. And while Tom and Lance offer her a place to stay in a condo in New York City, she declines but promises they'll see him soon. And then
Yeah,
that's in the movie.
happy endings. I was actually surprised that Frida, Tom, Lance, and Mrs. Banks survived. I thought one of them was gonna die, but I'm happy they didn't. So I actually really enjoyed this movie. It was one of those things where I went into it completely blind. I didn't know what it was. I one of the things about horror is like the perfect genre to use for like messages. That's why like a lot of horror has some sort of underlying message about something, be it like this, the whole thing is how people were treated, how people were treated after 9/11, racism, a blind sense of justice, overzealous religious people, which is a common thing in horror. It's not perfect, but I think I'm gonna probably give this like a 4. I
Oh
think.
wow. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's pretty generous. I was gonna give it a 3.5 out of 5. I mean, it's campy and ridiculous, but it does have a generally good message on the state of America and the war on
Oh yeah,
terror,
totally.
especially during that period in history when this film came out. But I
And
don't know if this was the thing with Tubi, or my TV speaker, but I noticed there was a lot of pee popping and echoing and sound going on. Or maybe it was just some of my TV. Do you have a problem with like that?
I didn't hear that. Maybe it's because I was wearing headphones. Because you said you had it on your TV.
Yeah, maybe it was just my TV or something with
Maybe.
Tubi.
I think the thing is, it's just I feel like the actors and actresses in this also just I think they all did a really good job. I sometimes feel like with horror, you can sometimes run into actors who are either not trying or they're trying too much. There was a good balance here.
Yeah. Okay, so we got some news going on, and this. Oh, you don't sound too happy.
No. All right. Simpsons movie sequel gets set summer 2027 release date.
Yeah, this one surprised me. Like, I knew Disney said they wanted a sequel to the Simpsons movie, and Of course, we know how long it took them to make the first movie. Like the show premiered in 1989, and the movie didn't, and then released until 2007. And now, appropriately enough, 20 years later, we're getting another movie.
Jesus.
Like
I
we
don't know
know,
how to feel about this.
I mean, it took them so long to make this first movie because they struggled to find a good plot for it.
I still haven't seen the first Simpsons movie, have you?
Yeah, I saw when it first came out back in 2007, and I remember cracking up at it. And oh my
So
god, the first movie grossed $500 million at the box office.
oh wow.
Impressive, though, especially since it was a hand-drawn movie, and this was during the time when CG was every anime movie at that time was CG.
So I'm kind of interested to see how this is going to go. Just because the Simpsons are not as culturally relevant as they used to be. I know they're saying that like being on Disney Plus kind of helped rejuvenate them, but I still just don't see that many people talking about the Simpsons. If they talk about Simpsons fondly, it's old Simpsons, you know?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
So I don't
definitely
know.
seasonal rat.
This could possibly
I mean,
I think
I
go ahead.
remember how well the first movie surprised me, especially with, like you said, people were talking about how part of Simpsons fell off, so it was surprising to them how much they liked the movie.
I think with the first movie, it was like, oh, we've been waiting for this all like for a very long time. Again, just like the thing is sometimes things can stand the test of time, but sometimes they can't. And I think a lot of people are just sort of tired of like The Simpsons being like. It feels like they should have like canceled the show a long time ago. It's gotten to a point where it's just been it's been on the air too long. So we'll see. I think it will make money, but I don't think it'll do as well as the first one. Oh, I just heard the void baby.
Yep, but you heard us talking about The Simpsons, buddy? Looking forward to the Treehouse of Horror special?
Well, Buddy
Okay.
might like this because Buddy likes violence.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so it's your turn or mine?
Your turn.
Halloween gets gameplay and trailer.
Yep.
Okay, so
Dun, dun,
oh,
dun,
is this gonna be like a Dead by Daylight thing?
I'm not sure, but I mean, I'm into it because I really like Halloween. A while back, I finally got to watch the first movie, and now I understand why Halloween is such a big franchise. Okay, so hang on, let me see.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
like
kind of does sound like Dead by Daylight.
yeah, like
Survive
sorry.
or slay across the tense streets and dark corridors of Haddonfield in this asymmetrical horror sandbox, taking on the role either as a desperate villain or the infamous Michael Myers himself. In each high-stakes cat and mouse match, every decision means life or death.
Yep, it's a Dead by Daylight knockoff.
I'm still kind of excited.
Oh my god, they're making Michael invisible, get the ability of invisibility. Oh my god.
See, however, the thing is this: if you have Dead by Daylight, you can play as Michael Myers. He's in the game.
Yeah, and also, yeah,
Okay.
like you said that he is in Dead by Daylight, right?
Yeah, he is in
Or some
Dead by
of-
Daylight.
Yeah, so I don't know what the point of this is other than money.
Yeah, you can also get Lori, the last girl from the film. You can unlock her.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so probably money. And who knows? Maybe it'll be good. I mean, this art looks really good. It looks like there's keeping in like time with the style and everything. So Okay, so I already watched this trailer. It's called Mr. K. Crispin Glover falls down the rabbit hole in a surreal mystery. So Crispin Glover is one of those actors who I don't want to say he's not a household name, but he kind of is very. What's the word I'm looking for? Selective in what he
And
stars in.
yeah, he's picky about what was he accepts or to saying.
Yeah, because like a lot of people know him from what's it called? Oh shoot. Back to the Future. He's George McFly. He was also in Twister. Even Cowgirls Get the Blues. Like he has a lot of artsy films on his like filmography. So I was like really shocked. I was like, oh wow, he's like in a movie, because I think the last thing I saw him in was that Alice in Wonderland movie in 2010. So, but this looks like really good. Like I think Crispin Glover is really good at playing sort of strange men. I know that sounds weird, but this looks really interesting. So hang on. After spending the night in a remote hotel, Mr. K is alarmed when he discovers that he's unable to find the exit. As he explores the maze-like corridors, he hears strange noises and encounters a series of curious inhabitants who have formed their own factions within the walls of the hotel. Alone and afraid, he starts mapping out the corridors, desperately hoping to get to the bottom of the building's layout before it's too late. Stuck more hopelessly than ever and about to give up, he makes a bizarre discovery that will change everything.
So this is like a serial thriller almost.
Yeah. And I like that kind of stuff. Because I'm always interested. It's because there's like a mystery to it, and I'm like, oh, I wonder if he's gonna figure it out. And I watched the trailer earlier. It does look really interesting, so I might try to catch this in theaters if I can.
And let's see. This is me. K-pop Demon Hunters to perform on the Tonight Show. Oh, it's on Jimmy Fallon.
Yes, our girls.
I know. Within the past weekend, I finally watched K-pop Demon Hunters thanks to Rooty and our friends, and I finally got it down. Like the songs were absolute earworms. Huntrix and Sacha Boys are absolute thirst traps.
So I think from what I think they're doing is they're having Ija, the voice of Rumi, Audrey Nuna, the voice of Mira, and Ray Ami, the voice of Zoe, the singing voices, are going to be performing. It's not like going to be a what's it called? It's not going to be like a Hatsumiku kind of thing, but it's still really cool because this is the first time they've done a live performance. So I need to find cable TV because I want to watch this. And I also love how they did the reveal. It had Derpy the tiger give Jimmy a note like he does in the movie. I was like, okay, that was really clever. And so, this is a big deal because, again, like, I don't think either Sony nor Netflix realized what they had on their hands. So this also keeps proving that the movie
has a big fan base, and how it's basically now a major pop culture milestone, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, because somebody said that like K-pop Demon Hunters is Netflix's Frozen, and it is, just because I remember like the Frozen hype and how it just took off after the movie. That's the same with K-pop Demon Hunters. Let's see. If you miss the appearance live, it will stream the following day, October 8th on Peacock. Yeah, so I'm going to try to find a cable TV so I can watch it live.
Good luck.
All right. Okay.
And oh no.
So French film organizations condemn OpenAI-backed animated film aiming for Cannes. Now, I don't remember if we talked about this before, but apparently the first like AI animated film is going to be showing at Cannes. A lot of people, of course, are like, oh, this is, bull crap. And apparently Cannes has sort of been having this issue where it's like they don't really seem to care about the people making the films, And so a bunch of French creators, which includes graphic artists, screenwriters, and animated directors, warned that while technology can aid creativity, no technology can replace the sensitivity, vision, and the commitment of human creators. Yeah, there's a full, like, if you guys want to read the article, you can do it at Cartoon Brew. It has the letter, like the open this is I think Yeah. This is the open letter to like Canes. So first off, I've seen there's even a picture of what I think it's supposed to be a spider.
Yeah, it looks like a mess.
Because like it's supposed to be fuzzy, but the fuzz is not sitting properly on the
It
spider's
almost
body.
look like crayon scribbles.
Yeah, see, there's a movie I saw called Sketch, and the little girl drew some orange spiders, and they looked like crayons, but they were supposed to. That's what she drew them from. This is supposed to be like, I think it's supposed to be like an actual spider, and it just looks terrible. Its eyes are weird. Its mouth looks weird. The legs look so bad. It's just, I don't understand. Okay, like, let's say for the sake of argument, in some weird, bizarre world, AI wasn't bad. Why would you want to show this at the Cannes Film Festival? Cannes is supposed to be the creme de la creme of film, the cream of the crop. This looks like absolute garbage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let's see. Oh, and let's see. Is this me or you?
I think this is you.
Bad Bunny to perform at the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. Oh, wow. Who's Bad Bunny again?
I like have a confession. I don't think I've ever listened to a Bad Bunny song. I'm sorry. I don't think I have. I can't think of any of his music. I'm trying, but it's like I don't think I've listened to any of his songs.
I'm too familiar with him either. Sigh. And let's see.
Okay, so we have more AI news, but this is some good news. So apparently some company has created an AI actress named Tilly Norwood, but thankfully people are, not okay with this. Okay, first of all, even though she looks human, she still looks really weird. There's something off with her eyes and her teeth. So it doesn't say the name of Eline der Velden is the person who created her. I'm not reading what that person said. Nope, I don't care what they say.
He keeps insisting it's a tool for artists and a piece of art.
No, nobody wants this. Okay, so Melissa Barrera said, "Hope all actors by the agent that does this drop their ass. How gross. Read the room." Percy Clemens says, "Out the agents. I want names." And what about the hundreds of living young women whose faces were composited together to make her? You couldn't hire any of them, noted Mara Wilson. Luke Gage wrote that Norwood was a nightmare to work with and couldn't mark her and was late. Tony Collette, meanwhile, succinctly responded with a series of screaming emojis. This is such a
I remember there was one social media post I read it. Sums it up perfectly. Someone said, "It's pretty telling that the people who are eager to get on board AI bandwagon, the first instinct was to create a teenage girl they can control."
Yeah. Again, so not only do I think this is not like a good idea, like morally and ethically, we know, hang on a second.
Yeah, hang on, I think I accidentally.
It's okay. What I'm saying is just not only is it like morally and ethically wrong, we have multiple, hang on a second. Yeah, you fixed it.
Yeah, I
Okay,
fixed it.
sorry.
Yeah.
We're talking about our document. A bunch of AI companies are in the process of being sued by Disney, Universal,
Warner Brothers and Universal. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know why they're doing this now, because the chances of AI still being around in the future are extremely slim.
It's gonna go the way of NFTs.
Oh yeah, see, everyone keeps on saying like, "Oh, AI is the future," but everybody said that about cryptocurrency and NFTs. Now nobody talks about them. Nobody takes them seriously. Y'all remember those god awful NFT cartoons we watched like years ago?
Yeah, they all flopped.
Yeah, that Dogecoin. They only had one episode of that. They never made another. Super Doge.
Yeah, and not to mention the Red Egg family only had 3 episodes before the company went bankrupt.
I still think
And
that one is the worst.
yeah. And the less said about Cryptoland, the better.
Ugh.
Okay, and now if we'll keep on rolling with some of the bad news, Electronic Arts is going private in a $55 billion deal backed by Saudi Arabia, Silver Lake, and Jared Kushner's equity firm.
The heck?
Yeah, I don't know where the hell this came from. Like, who the hell has that kind of money?
I know, and why EA of all things?
Like,
That is
I think they
so
might be
bizarre.
the. Are they the biggest first party game company at the moment?
The what?
Let's see. Like, third party, like, they're a. No, it's some. Oh no, they got surpassed by something called Tencent over in China. I know, like, and whether the largest third party is basically a game company that creates and publishes games, and while a first party game company, they make consoles. Like Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft are first party, while EA, Epic Games, and Ubisoft are third party.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry about the confusion.
No, it's fine. I wonder if this is gonna like affect any of their like upcoming games.
And it's the same because me and John have been playing Lord Split Second together.
Yeah, I know. I don't really know how to feel about this.
Well, considering the people who are buying it, it can be good, especially since Bioware is known for having a lot of LGBT representation.
Yeah. So yeah, this is gonna be something that's either gonna. It's probably I don't know. It's probably not gonna. Nothing good is gonna probably come from this. We'll just have to see.
Okay, and you got this one.
Oh right. So the trailer for the last season of Solar Opposites, season 6, has dropped. So we got a synopsis. Once their alien diamond making machine gets destroyed, the Solar Opposites must face their greatest challenge yet, living their expensive lives on a budget. When their consumerist habits and expensive hobbies are gone, only their true selves will remain. But will they like who they find?
Also, the epic story of the people of the world has all built to this thrilling, shocking conclusion.
I can't believe they're on season 6 now.
Yeah, it's lasted a while, even after they fired the uh, fuck me if I can remember the name.
I can't remember his name either. He
Probably
was
for the best considering his history.
yeah. Yeah, let's not talk about him.
Yeah, but I know a friend Luffy would be happy about this, and
Oh yeah.
something
Our friend
even
Luffy
more
was a fan.
surprising is that they announced that the first 5 seasons are also on Netflix now.
Oh wow. I can finally watch them because I have Netflix.
Hmm.
Hmm.
And let's see. Oh yeah, you just had this. The Care Bears movie returns to charity. I mean, theaters for charity in Santa
Yeah.
Monica.
So I added it just because I love the Care Bears. Yes, I know they're kind of cheesy, but I just have such what's the word? I have a like a nostalgic love for them, but also they're just so cute. How can you not love them? I have so much Care Bear stuff. It's not even funny, but so apparently the Care Bears movie, the one I think it was like from the 80s, they're holding a event in honor of their 40th anniversary on October 11th at the Aerial Theater. So let me see. Oh, they're also even. Oh, I didn't know this. So there's going to be a panel, and it's going to be hosted by Eric Baza, who is a very prolific voice actor. He's like doing all the voices for the Looney Tunes, and they have. Oh wow! They have the director and a one of the voice actors, Cree Summer, also coming also coming to the Q&A. That's actually really cool. So every ticket supports Ahmed Aid in aiding animator professionals impacted by the California wildfires, and Legends Animated, a nonprofit championing indie animation and community initiatives like the global 24 hours of animation contents for students.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, so if you want to go like relive your childhood, enjoy some nostalgia, this is happening on the 11th, and all the proceeds are going to 2 really awesome charities.
And let's see. Oh yeah, and Rickard and RHOBH stars Kathy Hilton and Jennifer Chili helped raise nearly $1 million for Project Angel Food.
Yeah, okay, that was the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. So she had a dinner for 12 at Hilton Estates, and I guess she auctioned it off for $4,000. Yep, it was an auction. And Project Angel Food is a meal delivery organization for seriously ill residents throughout Los Angeles County.
Mm-hmm.
Also, the first thing that went up for auction was 2 tickets for Wicked for Good. They sold for $13,000.
Hey, buddy, don't bite. No,
Oh,
he's
Father,
trying the
I
headphones wires
must.
again. Sorry.
Oh, Father, but I must bite. I must chew. Buddy loves the cords, but the cords don't love Buddy.
He know nothing from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
No, he didn't. So I just wanted to sort of end this off with like just a positive note, just because there's a lot of really crappy stuff going on in the world. So it's just nice to see that some people use their platform for the greater good. I don't watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, but I have to give Kathy Hilton her like props when realities like I don't really like reality TV, but when I see a reality TV star doing something good, like going out of their way to do something out of the goodness of their heart, it does like make my opinion go up a bit, because they could just be lazy and just ride out their ride out their fame. But that's why I still like a lot of the RuPaul Drag Race drag queens, because even though they are no longer on the show, they still try to use their fame to help raise money for like various charities.
And now we got recommendations.
Okay, so I probably recommended these before, but I haven't watched any new horror films recently, so I'm just going to fall back on 2 of my favorite horror comedy movies. Beetlejuice, of course, by Tim Burton. My favorite Tim Burton film. I think even though I love like Nightmare Before Christmas, I just think Beetlejuice is like Tim Burton at his best, and one of Michael Keaton's best roles. Like, you can tell Michael Keaton loved playing Beetlejuice, not just like in your. Go ahead.
Sorry. Yeah, he said he'd be up for playing as Beetlejuice until the day he dies.
Yeah, no one else can be Beetlejuice. That's his role. I mean, like on the stage, it's different, but like in the movie, it's got to be Keaton. And it's just has such a great cast. You got the amazing Gina Davis, the hilarious Catherine O'Hara, and of course Winona Ryder. She was like probably like a lot of people's first goth girl crush. Yeah, but also like this. Another thing is I really love the use of the song Calypso, the day
they like come and me want to go home.
Yeah, it's like I love Harry Bell.
Yeah, last year, believe it or not, it was the first time John ever watched that movie.
Yeah, that's right. He told us.
And that scene had him cracking up.
Because it's hilarious. Because the thing is if you guys have, okay, this is a spoiler, but what happens is Banana Boat starts to play, but it's coming out of like Catherine O'Hara, and she obviously is scared, but she's still singing the song. Then everybody starts dancing. They can't control their bodies. It's done so well. The actors did such a great job. Now, next up, this is another horror comedy. So there is a musical called Little Shop of Horrors, and it is about a plant that comes down from outer space and eats everybody. Now, I'm going to say this. I have seen both the stage version and the movie. I like them both, but if you want a story with a happier ending, watch the movie because they changed the ending because originally when people hated it. But
The
it
focus
has
is it.
Yeah, it has Rick Moranis as Seymour. He does a fantastic job. Ellen Green is I think it's for me as like my favorite role she's ever done. She plays Audrey. Audrey is this like she's the love interest, but she's like kind of dumb and bubble blonde, but
A
she has
complete head,
but she's so sweet that you can't help but love her. I remember the first time I watched this movie, I was sitting here and I was squinting. I'm like, is that Steve Martin? Yes, it is Steve Martin, and he can sing. And the amazing Levi Stubbs, who was the lead vocalist of the Four Tops, voices Audrey. See, Audrey, what happens is Audrey 2, Audrey 2 gets bigger and bigger and bigger because Seymour keeps feeding it blood. And like one of my favorite lines is, "Feed me, Seymour." Like, but it's when the thing gets really big, the plant, that's the first thing the plant says to him. And so now, like, because Seymour's like, oh, I can't keep doing this, but see, he thinks that if he doesn't stop feeding the plant, Audrey's not going to love him anymore because he's like madly in love with her. It's both really sad and really funny. It is literally it's probably also like one of my favorite musicals. It has a lot of great songs in it.
Yeah.
Also, the movie is directed by Frank Oz, the original puppeteer of Miss Piggy and Yoda.
And like this was his first big non-Muppet project.
And
it's good. Also, the musical was created by lyricist Howard Ashman and music composer Alan Menken. And the two would go on. Yeah, and the two would go on to be big key figures in the Disney Renaissance of the 90s and late 80s.
See, like Little Shop of Horrors is like a dark Disney movie because when you listen to the music, you can tell that it's Alan Menken and Howard Ashman.
Yeah, but the humor is a lot more morbid.
Oh yeah. Don't watch this with kids.
It may be PG, but it can be too dark for them. And now it's time for my recommendations. Well, since we watched a zombie movie, I figured both my recommendations would focus on the dead. First up is a classic, The Evil Dead, the one that made Sam Raimi a household name in horror.
That was a film, wasn't it?
Yeah, Sam Raimi, 1981. And here we focus on a group of teenagers. As one of them, Ash Williams, played by Bruce Campbell.
Woo.
Back when he looked really young in this. They decided to do a getaway at a cabin in rural Tennessee. But things take a dark turn when they find a book called the Necronomicon, where they unleash evil demons known as Deadites that had possessed the living and then turn them into sick, surreal monsters. And the only way to kill them is by dismembering them or burying them alive. Because once they're possessed, they're basically walking corpses. And this was made on a very small budget of $375,000. And you can kind of tell since it's a small movie. However, it still balances a nice balance between campiness and horror with some of the gore and blood. And not to mention
why people still like it.
Yeah, I think that's why the reboot back in 2013 wasn't as popular. But they recently did a new film with Sam Raimi producing, and Evil Dead Rise, which again, it did a lot better, mainly because they found a good mix between the gore and campiness. But yeah, Sam Raimi would go on to direct the Spider-Man trilogy for Sony, and then returned to Marvel many years later for Doctor Strange: Multiverse of Madness, which was just as batshit crazy. Okay, my second recommendation. Actually, that segues perfectly into my second recommendation. Marvel Zombies by Robert Kirkman and Sean Phillips. Now, Robert Kirkman, you probably best know him as the creator of The Walking Dead and Invincible. And this is based off of a one-shot story in Ultimate Fantastic Four, where Mr. Fantastic is tricked into going to a parallel dimension when alien virus infects Marvel heroes and zombies alike, turn them into flesh-eating monsters. However, these aren't your traditional slow-walking zombies. These zombies, though they're craven by a hunger for human flesh, they still have other intelligence and power, so they can think, they can plan, and they can deceive.
That makes it worse.
Yep, and Marvel decided to turn it into a 4-issue a miniseries. And of course, Robert Kirkman was the first to come aboard, and they give him a lot of creative freedom with this to be as dark and gory as they want.
Well, duh, he created probably one of the most popular zombie pieces of media ever.
And he gets creative with how the zombie infestation affects the heroes and villains alike. Like Spider-Man, he can't produce weapon anymore, so he swings around with his veins and arteries now. And the Hulk, Bruce Banner, he doesn't turn into the Hulk when he's angry, but rather when he's hungry for human flesh.
Ugh.
I won't spoil too much, but after he eats an entire leg as the Hulk, and it turns back into Banner, the size of the leg causes his stomach to burst open.
Ooh.
And probably the darkest scene was when it turns out Ant-Man is secretly keeping Black Panther alive, just so he can saw off bits of his limbs and eat them.
Ugh.
Yeah, it is not for the screamers.
Yeah, not for kids.
Very gory and it's actually not for kids. Hell, even if you're a Marvel fan, an adult fan, you could find it screamers, but it's an amazingly dark and morbid series, especially with how batshit crazy it is. And a friend John, he watched the Marvel Zombies animated miniseries, but apparently it's not as good as the comic. So I'm recommending the comic instead.
Alrighty, so
okay,
yeah, sorry, I'm still here. So since we are, it is Halloween, our next so this is going to be much different from what we watched today. We are watching Bugs Bunny's Halloween special. Ooh. And I know we're going to have a lot to talk about because Chad loves Looney. So we'll see you guys
know it.
next time. Bye.
Goodbye.